I am DJ Infrared, DJ for Grand Song. Used to DJ for a lot of cats, D Black, Spaceman, Fatal. My exposure to hip hop is a little bit different than other people on this panel. I actually grew up, I was born in New York. I was born, grew up in Washington Heights. I actually lived around the corner from where Malcolm X was shot. And so from like 84 to 91 is where I lived there. So it's hardwired into me from the birthplace. So, you know, when I'll be 50, you know, that East Coast sound is always gonna sound, you know, the best to me because that's what I was raised on. But I got moved out here when I was 7 over to Redmond on the east side. So I'm going from, you know, uptown New York to an all-white community. And I'm literally the only black kid in my school. So hip-hop was my friend, essentially, because I can't identify with anyone else. You know, they're listening to whatever, they're dressing however, but hip-hop kind of identified with me. I identified with hip-hop, and that's how I maintain my identity. So I'm, you know, like I went with my brother to go buy Illmatic. I'm like 9, 10 years old. I'm listening to Ghetto Boys when I'm 8, 9 in my, you know, my Walkman. So it's something that I can't envision like life without hip hop. And I think that's a little bit, you know, just being of the age that I am. I know that a lot of cats like can remember a life before hip hop, but literally I don't know what the world is like without this expression, this music. And for me, just being so immersed in it, I just naturally wanted to be a part of it. So when I was 13, I finally was able to get my first set of turntables. You know, I tried to rap, but I wasn't really that filthy. But I had no one to, you know, to judge it. So it was just literally me and my partner, DJ Rise, and we got into DJing. And, you know, I had no idea that there literally was a hip-hop community that existed here. I'm always thinking that, you know, it's in New York, it's in Houston, it's in LA, it's in Atlanta, and, you know, I'm across the water from a community that I had no idea existed. So when I got into DJing, it allowed me to start getting into battles, and I start seeing, you know, cats like, you know, I see DV1, I see DJ Trey, I see Waystyles, I see Scene, I see all these cats that through the DJ medium, I'm starting to get introduced to this culture and this scene that exists within Seattle. So it was literally a situation where I'm growing up, you know, immersed in an all-white community, and I'm trying to find something to identify with. And when I eventually found that, you know, I got turned on to all this, and I had to go back and study and see what did I miss? What was, you know, I learned about it in like, you know, 99, 2000, 2001 that a Seattle rap scene existed. So what am I missing back on, and what do I have to do my research on? And, you know, having to backtrack, and ever since then I've just been going to shows, seeing the same people, seeing the same, you know, faces, and eventually just linking with them, finding out that, you know, they MC, I DJ, you know, let's rock together. And, you know, moving forward from that, you know.
What's your definition of hip-hop?
My definition of hip-hop, I would say my definition of hip-hop is an expression of what the current tenor of society is. So in the 80s, you know, we're looking for something to escape, you know, the devastation of you know, the influx of drugs and poverty and all these things. We're looking for something to escape that, and that's why hip-hop in the 80s sounds the way it does. And so, you know, when people, you know, like Jay was like, I don't know what hip-hop really is nowadays, and it's because people don't know what is going on nowadays. They don't know what is their direction, what their focus is, and, you know, we've gotten, you know, lazier, we've gotten complacent, and so the expression of that is a reflection of that. So we're not putting an emphasis on the DJ, we're not putting an emphasis on the people, we're not putting an emphasis on the graffiti. We're just growing up in an era where now what hip-hop has been so commercialized, packaged, produced, and put out there that it's just an expression and a reflection of what our society is. You turn on the TV, and all they talk about is how broke our country is, and how this our country is, how violent our country is, how everything. So the music is just going to be a reflection of all of that confusion. And if you're 16 growing up in a world where, you know, you're a post 9/11, you know, kid, and you're growing up where, you know, everything is so hyper emotional, and, you know, a group of people could be under attack one week, and a group of people could be under attack another week. You're going to reflect that through how you express things, whether you want to escape from it completely and not even touch on that, or whether you want to delve 100% into it and only touch on that. You're going to be a reflection of that. So we're so scatterbrained as a society that, you know, our culture is going to reflect that.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mark Womack. I feel like standing up because I can't sit down. I was getting ready to reach for something to drink. But I am 42 years old, which means a lot because when hip-hop came out, hip-hop was in early 75. You know, when I first caught on to it, 79. God bless you. 1979, so that was when Rappers Delight, Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash, and guys were really being broadcasted from New York. And our only, being from Tacoma, Washington, or being living in Tacoma, Washington at the time, our only outlet to listening to New York hip hop was either TV. Thank you very much. And okay, with either TV or the radio, and we had a radio station here called K-Fox, and K-Fox was our first radio station, if anybody is around my age here, first radio station that was playing hip-hop, and it used to come on around, I mean, we used to play it in Seattle all day long, I guess, but in Tacoma, it went off at 7 o'clock sharp. So we had to listen to hip-hop from, you know, 5 o'clock to 7, and we tuned in, and we got our glimpses of Sir Mix-a-Lot, we got our glimpses of Run DMCs and all the greats of hip hop. So when I was in that time, I was just a young kid going to school. Like, man, this is great. I really like this sound, and I feel like, you know, I should be part of it. So I went and built my own DJ system, and you know, my little box. I seen on TV that they had a little, you know, with the turntables in it and the mixers and the drum machine, and I built it and put it all together myself. You know, I stole the drum machine. I mean, I was passionate about hip hop because, you know, I mean, I had to live this. So I did everything. I broke rules. You know what I mean? And so I went out and did this thing, and you know, I learned how to DJ. Got my first records, Billy Ocean, Run DMC. My mom bought me these records, and I was like, man, Billy Ocean, he ain't hip hop. I'm with you. You know what I mean? So I was like, I can't mix this. But I even said that in a song one day. But I love the fact that it was just the communication about it. I listened, it educated me, it trained me. I listened to the Beastie Boys. I listened to, I mean, every album that came out of New York, hip hop. I mean, everybody. I don't want to name nobody because I don't want to leave out everybody. But it was just a whole entire unit of hip hop that was being broadcasted that had me feeling like I got to be a part of it. So from there being a DJ, I started emceeing. And we were breakdancing at the same time. So, you know, I mean, come on, you guys, this is right when this thing was hitting Washington State. Washington State, we wasn't even following hip-hop that much, but, you know, I was, you know, many of us that are my age, around my age, were following it pretty closely and loving it. So, The Message, big song in my life, you know what I mean? Grandmaster Flash Furious 5, that changed my life because I was like, that's the truest song ever that I ever heard in my life. And all these things that were happening around me, people being on drugs and crack and gangs and stuff, just coming around in the early 80s, that was a real big changer for me. And I always felt like that should be me. I should be able to communicate this way to people. And hip hop to me is a way of communicating. It's the biggest form of communication in the world. Okay, you know, I think if politicians could rap, they would talk to you in rap, because rap is something that, you know, it's a language of its own, you know, and we you know, you go anywhere in the world, and I guarantee you, if you rap, you can speak the same language as his kids in France, or you know, they'll understand you. They'll know who you are. They know what you see. This hip hop thing, man, is I believe, to me, and you know, my expression of this hip hop thing is something that is embraced and it grows on you. It grows in you, and you live it. You don't just try to do this. You know, these kids today are trying to do it. For us, we live this. This is 24/7. We wake up, the beat comes to your head. What do? You go to the drum machine. You go to the keyboard. Rap come to you, you put on a beat that he made and you start rapping. And you block out everything else in the world. Food, water, everything. You block it out and you go hard. And you stay in the studio and you come up to where you feel like you're comfortable enough to let everybody hear you. And so my thing is, this is communication of it at its highest form. And it's meant to be respected, and it's meant to be feared, and it is feared. You know, one of the things that I learned about hip-hop is that you had to be a philosopher, a master of a lot of trades. You had to be a master of a lot of things like the astrologies. You just had to know a lot before you could even do music. Music was the most highest form in the old days, you know, like in history, way 10,000 years ago. It was music. You couldn't be a musician until you learned these aspects of life so you could be able to teach. Because people would sit down and listen to music religiously and listen to who's speaking. And they would be able to learn things and hear things and you know, change their lives about what they heard. So hip-hop is a very, very, very important tool in the world. And for my community, I learned it at an early trade. I come from a group called Criminal Nation, the first hip-hop group out of Tacoma, Washington. We had records sold all over the world. We were, you know, basically mimicking NWA, and you know, we did a good job of it, and we sold units. And out of all the artists that are still trying to sell units today in this market, I mean, we sold enough. You know, we put a lot of artists together, and still, Criminal Nation is a #1 group out of, you know, Washington State, which mix a lot in the other artists that they named. But here today, I am still involved. I'm a program director for a hip hop radio station called Seattle Night Out Radio, and we play all local music. And we like to have all local artists that are in this room and in this building come and send their music in here. We will definitely get a song or 2 or 3 on for you and play your music all over the world. It's sad to me that I'm a veteran hip-hop artist, and I took time to get up this morning to come here, and our hip-hop community is huge, and there should be at least 1,000 people here for White Kings and hip-hop 3rd annual community event, you know what I mean? And they're not here, so it hurts me because I go to a lot of events and I see hip-hop artists everywhere, but our community's big, but we don't support each other, and that hurts me because, you know, we need support from every single one of you in here. We need videos, tweeting, people saying, yeah, I seen Wojak at the conference, I seen so-and-so at the conference, and we need to connect and you know, make this real. This thing is what we live off of. And as you know, hip-hop ain't making no money in Washington State, so we really need to come together and start figuring out how we can really build some record station, real record label and promotional companies that, you know, because everybody can't rap and everybody can't be the DJ and everybody can't be the producer. So some of y'all out here sitting in the crowd got to be the, you know, the promoters, got to be the, you know, the guys that write the grants, and you got to do other things inside besides being a rapper. You can rap. If you can rap good, you know what I mean, go ahead, there's a billion rappers out here. But make sure you're saying something intelligent, and that for me, I hate rap right now because rap is like they gave 4th graders, they gave 4th graders record deals, you know what I mean? And are you going to listen to a 4th grader rap? You know what I mean?
He's tight.
You know what I mean? If he's tight, he's talking to 4th graders, and we grown men. So we're not going to listen to 4th graders all day long talking about what they do, which is...
His flow is tight, but he got to know something.
He got to know something. He knows something for 4th graders, but he don't know nothing for grown men. And so I represent grown man rap. You know what I mean? This is we rock that grown man rap out here. So yeah, pull your pants up. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Have some respect. Comb your hair. You know, get yourself right. You know what I mean? Put a suit on if you want to do some business. You know what I mean? We represent grown man hip hop. If you can't do nothing sagging and put Jordans on and you know ganged out and smelling like weed in a business meeting, you cannot do that. My brother, we at war right now. Everywhere we go, people out here rapping about guns, monies, and drugs. And, you know what I mean? So I think we need to step it up, Seattle. My name is Wojak, and I am hip hop, and that is my definition.